practically follows the system. And practically Hinduism has become an arm of the Sankaracharya philosophy that God is impersonal, but he accepts a form like Rama and Krishna out of material nature. But that form dies and is no more. So it's a very offensive philosophy, and therefore Srila Bhaktisiddhanta, Srila Prabhupada, and so many Vaishnavacharyas, with practically every lecture, they had to mention the pitfalls of this Mayavada impersonal philosophy.
But we can also say that those who are personalists like us, this impersonal Brahman do exist, is not false, even though their explanation is wrong, but we do see that impersonal existence, Brahmana hi pratisthaham, but we see that personal Bhagavan, from his body he emanates this impersonal Brahman. So therefore, that Brahman is also personal to us.
And it has a personal form.
Yes.
If you read when Krishna was taken by Krishna was taking Arjuna outside of the universe to the abode of Mahavishnu, they passed through the Brahma Jyoti, but that Brahma Jyoti also had a personal form which worshipped Krishna, even though it's an impersonal absolute, which is I don't know what form, but anyway, it's that.
No, like a water, reservoir water has a form or no? Yes. You say this is lake, this is pond. Why you say lake and pond? Because it has a form. So similarly, Brahma Jyoti also has a form.
That's ironic.
Okay, more? Arjuna? Read? So Maharaj will lead. You have to be ready.
We're on page 219 at the top.
Okay. Seeing that Harihara was not as orthodox as a Vaishnava as he had feared, Nayaratna Mahashaya Nayaratna Mahashaya's face blossomed with happiness. Harihara, he said, you are a true scholar of the Nyaya Shastra. You have just expressed exactly what I believe. These days, there is a new upsurge. What is it?
Yeah.
Upsurge of Vaishnava Dharma, and I am afraid to say anything against it. We must be a little cautious because this is the age of Kali. Many wealthy and respectable gentlemen have now accepted Chaitanya's doctrine. They completely disregard us and even think that we are their enemies. I am afraid that our profession will become obsolete within a short time. Why? Even the inferior castes of oil sellers, betel leaf vendors, and gold traders have taken to study the Shastra, and that pains us. Look, for a long time the Brahmanas had arranged things so that no other caste could study the Shastra. Even the Kayastas, who are just below the Brahma caste, everyone has obliged to honor our words. Now people of all castes have become Vaishnavas and deliberate on philosophical truths, and this has greatly damaged the reputation of the Brahmana caste. Nimai Pandit is responsible for the destruction of the Brahmana Dharma.
Wow.
Harihara, Takar Chudamani has spoken correctly, whether he has done so out of greed for wealth or after careful analysis of the situation.
So there should be a question, Maharaj, that Shastra also said that no one has a right to study Veda except the Brahmana, Shruti. But then Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he gave a new view that every soul is constitutionally positioned as a Krishna Das. So when he acts as a Krishna Das, he has under his Guru's guidance, he has a inherent right, legal right to serve Shastra. But in regular society, without Vaishnava, in Varnashram society, Shudra should never recite Shastra. That is also true. That is also true. It is not something, what they are saying, they are wrong, but what they are saying, it also has a base. Because in Bhagavatam, it says that when Shudra recite Shastra to get some personal benefit, he may pronounce wrong, he will get completely wrong result. He will suffer. And if he develops some power, mantra power or something, and he is not well cultured, like even Sringi, Prabhupada put that very well, that Sringi was blamed by his own father, Dhamma Rishi, when he cursed King Parikshit, that he has this Brahma Vidya, but he is not cultured, that who he should use, who he cannot use. Because he did not give the importance of King Parikshit as a Vaishnava, he gave importance as a king. He didn't care, Brahmana should be higher, he thinking his father should be higher. But he never saw King Parikshit as a Vaishnava. So because he is not culturally well, that's why it was a wrong way to give in. Even though he was a son of Brahman, but he was not cultured. So in that purport, one after another, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur also gave that no Sudra or low class, only Brahmana should read scriptures. That is also true. But when everybody comes, every soul has a eternal relationship as a servant of God, in that platform they can read. But in a normal human society, nobody should read Shastra except Brahmana. That's also true.
And in Kali Yuga, everyone is Sudra or less.
But Jayate, Janmana Jayate Sudra, but Sanskar Bhavet Dijo. When they become initiated, they must follow Guru. So in that sense, even a beef eater, 2 years before, now he is initiated, he can read Shastra. But that part they don't know. So that's the battle.
Anyway, they want to create a monopoly to control others.
It's a good income.
For their own preservation physically. But we should be controlled only by those who are free from all the pushings and pullings of the mental predomination of control. We should be only controlled by what? Love and affection. Someone has love and affection, you can control me, I'll be very happy. If somebody has an agenda or some personal desire and that we are controlled by them, then it was detrimental for both them and us. And when the Brahmanas in India controlled out of material motivation the Sudras, then the Sudras revolted and then they turned the tables on the Brahmanas.
This is very true. Bhaktivinoda Thakur also gives that actually in India why the Hindu culture failed and Muslim took over or other race came and is converted. It's only because of this Brahmanas' misconduct. They literally tortured human race in India, the Brahmanas. They want their status so high and they don't want anybody to come nearby them. This untouchable, all these ideas so bad. They should be blamed. They should be crucified because of this damage of the Varnashram system. Yes, Prabhu.
In South India, I heard it's just like our, in America, it's called Jim Crow laws. Everybody had to get off the street black people would have to leave the street. Brahmins during this period called Brahmanism would wear a bell. And if you heard that bell, you had to clear away. Oh, Brahmins coming. You had to make way for the Brahmins. Oh, they exploded like that.
That's true. So Maharaj, you said very well. They didn't have love, they just had a status.
So even that continued until 1947 when Mahatma Gandhi took the courage to fight back and abolish the racism. Just like here, Martin Luther King took charge. And it's diminished, but there is residual effect is still there.
Sure. In India too.
I'm from
In India still Brahmana thinks they are like a big guy.
Yeah.
They're doing it, probably eating fish,
Right.
but still, okay, I'm better than everybody else. It's true.
So the Vaishnava always thinks, I am the lowest.
Yeah, we
He's
always
protected
think
by
that.
his humility.
Yeah.
As soon as pride enters, then we're finished.
But in Vivekananda Swami's, had said that way, that it's okay to be lowest because we are holding everybody. When he came here in England to give the lecture, and all the religious books were on top of each other, and Bhagavad Gita was on the bottom. So everybody was laughing at him and said, "Why the Gita is lowest? Look at your religious is nothing." So no, it's good because it's holding all of you. So it's in order to be powerful, you have to be beneath to hold everybody up. Otherwise, you would all fall. That's
Yeah.
how Vivekananda Swami had explained in his lecture.
Go ahead.
When I
You're
hear
saying that Varna is, after initiation, then you have qualification to study Sastra.
If Guru wants, yes, Veda Patat Bhavet Vipra. It says that.
But what happens is, so in like Manushamit is saying that Varna is based upon your qualities, not just your birth. Someone who's born in Malecha family, they can have the qualities of a Brahmin and therefore elevate to a Brahmin status. They would also have to be Dvija. But what happens if you're taking initiation, this doesn't automatically qualify you to be that status. So if you do not have the qualities of a Brahmin, then how can you say that you can study Sastra?
The gradual progression. You want me to make the chart, Maharaj?
Yes.
My handwriting is horrible. Sita, you can do it?
Sure.
Want to sit next to you. Thank you. That's all right. I'm used to sit on the floor, so don't worry. Bosun. You want to wipe it out?
this paper, there's no erasure there? Just
Oh, it's
tissues.
hiding. Just
Okay.
wouldn't want to make you get up or anything.
That's okay. I was just surprised there wasn't an eraser there.
So you write on the top Diksha, and then you divide into two categories. Vedic, like on the top you can. Vaidiki,
Sha, S-H.
Diksha. One is Vaidiki, another is Veda Anuga. Don't put double line, just go straight, because we need more. Now Vaidiki you should write born with quality. That makes sense?
Born into family.
No.
The quality.
No. Bhagavad Gita says that.
But can you be born into under a different Varna, but born with a
No,
different
everybody is born with a Varna. Ashram has nothing to do with it. But Varna, it came with our Prarabdha Karma.
Meaning there's Brahmins are born from Brahmins. So then these are
No,
Brahmins.
but you have to go by the quality. Brahmana, born in a Brahmana means the quality attracting that quality.
Right. But so someone can be born in a different caste, but exhibit the Brahmin qualities. And
That,
stay in
that
love
we are
bhakti.
coming, that we are coming.
Okay.
But this is quality that somebody has to be in Sattva-gun in order to be in a Brahmana,
Right.
minimum.
So this is not based upon family lineage.
No, but it is family lineage. Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur born in a Brahman family, but last name is Datta. But then 4 acharyas they born, but Mahaprabhu was Brahman, Nityananda Prabhu was Brahman, Advaita Acharya was Brahman. There is so many. So they also can. I mean, to explain somebody, we can also say like this. Then Veda Anuga 2 types. One is Puraniki and one is Pancharatriki. No, here. Go like.
Like this again?
Yeah. One is Puraniki. P-O. Like Puran.
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 Puraniki. And then one is Pancharatriki. Puraniki, you're like a Gautam Muni with Jabala. You write Jabala. Then everybody knows that story, no? Jabala.
I don't know it.
Just like Jabala. Maharaj will tell this story.
That was the boy who he didn't know who his father was.
Right.
So he went to see his mother because the Guru wanted to know who his father was, but his mother said, there have been so many men have passed through. She was a prostitute. I don't know which one is your father. So he went back to the Guru and said, my mother says she really doesn't know. He said, oh, you're so honest. All right, I'll initiate you.
So even though he's not qualified, but he is qualified.
Mm-hmm.
You see this? How?
By his qualities, he's qualified.
So he is a
His
low-class prostitute son, but he's qualified because he's born, actually he's honest.
truthfulness.
It did not come from somebody. It's from him. So that's why Vedanuga
I thought his name was Pipala.
Jabala. Why? I don't know.
called the
Maybe under
Prabhu-Alachua.
Pipala tree.
Isn't that called the Pipala Upanishad?
Yeah, later on. After he was initiated.
Oh.
Okay, Pancharatriki, you write down 2 types. One you write down initiation and gradual progression. Means Guru allows him to grow. Another Pancharatriki is instant. I have to find the Sanskrit word yet. Instant, like bell metal turned to gold. Prabhupada talks a lot. Many lecture he talks
What kind of
about
metal?
Bell metal.
it. Bell metal turned into gold.
Ita Kantanam Jati.
Tata Kanchanam. Okay. So according to the Brahmanas, that this Vaidiki, they think that actually Diksha should be only from that angle. Unless you are a Brahmana, you cannot create another Brahmana. Period.
That's false.
Huh?
That's false.
No, for us, because we know the inner meaning of this. Our acharyas, our guru, they explain this. But they only take that part. They do not give importance of Pancharatriki. Actually, all our Gauriya, ISKCON or all the Gauriya, they all comes to this category of Vedanuga. They don't even come to the so much of the Puraniki so much. But they all come to Pancharatriki. That the merciful nature of the sadhu like Prabhupada, he initiated, whether he's qualified or not qualified, doesn't matter. He is going to make him gradually progress. So but he has to progress.
Yeah.
Initiation doesn't qualify him immediately. But initiation means he allowing him entering into the school of bhakti. But he has to gradually progress and pass the exam. Something like that. He has to know the truth. He has to serve the Guru. Then from a Guru's heart, you can write maybe Jasya Deve Para Bhakti Jata Deve Tatha Guru. This is the
Yes, your baby forever.
Where did I write that?
the second one. Just Anyway, you know that sloka.
Oh yes.
That when you have an unflinching faith, towards your guru,
Demoted.
same as Krishna, that time guru's heart will transmit to Shishya's heart. When Shishya has that adhikar to please the guru. Otherwise not possible. Because not all disciples serve. They take... Prabhupada talks so much also sometimes like a show bottle. Guru is not a show bottle. But in India we see this. I don't know in the West, but in India we see that. I have a guru, but never serve guru. In a shelf somewhere. The photo is there.
So then my question is there, so you take initiation, someone has initiation, but they're not at the quality of Brahmana yet.
It depends on his dedication. If he instantly really accepted Guru and really wants to serve completely, instantly he can be liberated.
Then he's automatically qualified.
So therefore we cannot say he is not.
So I'm saying someone who is not qualified, who has initiation but are progressing towards that, then how can they have the right to study Sastra?
Well, it says that those who has developed bhav, they have a right to teach. Those who are surrendering to that bhava, bhakta, then he has a right to hear. So it's kind of like this. Not everybody even can hear. I mean, they may hear, but they won't get it.
But they can hear, but how can they study? Because they have not come to the platform. of
Study
Brahman
means
yet.
what?
To study
Under
Shastra.
guidance. No, study means under guidance. Study not by self. So if gurus, well, they can do it, but if guru say you study, like South India, that Brahmana, when Mahaprabhu came, but before Mahaprabhu came, he was already in that bhava feeling. He was crying, seeing that Krishna is so merciful. But then when Mahaprabhu asked why you are crying. So he said, my Guru Maharaj told me to read, and I'm trying to read. But I'm not capable of understanding. It's not that he's not reading, he's reading. Otherwise, how would he get this?
But also Sankaracharya's own disciple who was just doing his laundry and cooking. He was not studying and not reading. When he gave a lecture, Shankaracharya was waiting for him to come, and the other disciples said, no need, let him finish his job, we want to hear from you. He said, no, let him come. So finally, his name was Giri, he came, and then Shankaracharya said, go ahead, speak. And when he spoke, he started quoting all Shastra.
Yes.
Because of his supreme dedication to the lotus feet of Sankaracharya.
Guru. Very good. Thank you, Maharaj. So next.
Look, for a long time the Brahmanas had arranged things so that no other caste could study the Shastra, even the Kshatriyas, who are just below the Brahmana caste.
Kayastha, I come from there.
Oh, really?
Everyone was obliged to honor our words. Now people of all castes have become Vaishnavas and deliberate on philosophical truths, and this has greatly damaged the reputation of the Brahmana caste. Nimai Pandit is responsible for the destruction of the Brahman Dharma. Harihara, Tarka Chudamani has spoken correctly, whether he has done so out of greed for wealth or after careful analysis of the situation. When I hear the words of the Vaishnavas, my body burns with anger. Now they go as far as to say that Sankaracharya established Mayavad Shastra on the order of Bhagavan himself, and that the Vaishnava religion is eternal. The religion that sprung up not even 100 years ago has now become beginningless. How amazing, it is said. The benefit which is meant for one man is enjoyed by another. Whatever glory Navadvip attained formerly has now been laid to waste. In particular, there are some Vaishnavas who now live at Godigach in Navadvip, who look upon the world as a shallow earthen plate. A few good scholars among them have stirred up with such a great commotion that it has ruined the entire country. Now the occupational duties of the four castes, the eternal truth of the doctrine of Mayavad, and the worship of the Devatas and Devis are all fading into oblivion. People seldom perform the Shraddha ceremony for the benefit of their deceased relatives anymore. How are we teachers to survive? Harihara said, Mahatma, is there no remedy for this? In Mayapur there are still 6 or 7 Brahmin scholars of great repute. Across the Ganga in Kaliagram there are also numerous scholars who are well versed in the Smriti and Nyaya Shastras. If they all combine together and attack Gadigach, will it not bear fruit? Nyayaratna said, why not? It's possible if the Brahmin Pandits can unite, but there are differences among them these days. I heard that a few Pandits headed by Krishna Chudamani went to Gadigach and initiated a debate, but they came back to their schools defeated, after which they spoke no more about it than was absolutely required. Harihara said, Bhattacharya Mahashai, you are not only our teacher, but the teacher of many great teachers. Your commentary on the Nyaya Shastra has taught many great scholars the art of reasoning by analyzing fallacious arguments. If you so desire, you can defeat these Vaishnava scholars once and for all. Establish that the Vaishnava religion is a modern invention that the Vedas do not support. This will be a great act of mercy on the Brahmanas, and it will reinstate our long-established Panchopashan worship, which is on the point of vanishing. Chatur Bhuj Nyayaratna was inwardly afraid to debate with the Vaishnavas, thinking that they might defeat him as they had Krishna Chudamuni and others. He said, Harihara, I will go in disguise. You should pose yourself as a teacher and ignite the fire of debate in Gadigach. After that, I will take over and assume responsibility. Harihara said happily, I will certainly carry out your order. Next Monday we will cross the Ganga and attack them, invoking the name of Mahadev for auspiciousness. Monday arrived while they were still pondering over this matter. 3 professors, Harihara, Kamalakanta, and Sarashiva, met Sri Chaturbhuj Nyayaratna at his home in Arkatila, and escorted him across the Ganga to Godruma. At 4 in the afternoon, they arrived at the Mayavadi Grove, exclaiming,
Madhavi Grove. Mayavadi.
Madhavi Grove.
It's a beautiful flower, not Mayavadi.
Haribo, Haribo. Having a mood like Durvasa Muni, surrounded by his followers. Advaita Das was at that time chanting Harinam in his kutir. Seeing them, he came out and affectionately offered them each a seat. He then inquired, how may I be of service to you? Harihara said, we have come to discuss some matters with the Vaishnavas. Advaita Das said, the Vaishnavas of this place do not debate on any topic. However, it is all right if you have come to inquire submissively about something. The other day, a few professors initiated a full-scale debate on the pretext of making some inquiries, and in the end they left greatly disturbed. I will ask Paramahamsa Babaji Mahashai, and then you give an answer. And then give you an answer. Saying this, he entered Babaji Mahashai's kutir. A few moments later, Advaita Das returned and arranged more mats for sitting. Then Paramahamsa Babaji Mahashai came into the grove and offered Dandavat Pranam to Vrinda Devi and then to the cultured Brahmana visitors. With folded hands, he inquired humbly, O great souls, please order us. What service can we do for you? Nayaratna said, we have 1 or 2 questions to ask, and we would like you to answer them. When Paramahamsa Babaji Mahashai heard this request, he summoned Sri Vaishnav Das Babaji Mahashai to join them. When Vaishnav Das Babaji arrived, he offered pranam to the Paramahamsa Babaji and sat next to him. Within a short while, a small group of Vaishnavas had gathered. Nyayaratna Mahashai then asked his question. Please tell us whether the Vaishnava religion is ancient or modern. Paramahamsa Babaji Mahashai requested Vaishnav Das to respond. In a peaceful yet grave tone of voice, Vaishnav Das said, the Vaishnava Dharma is Sanatan, everlasting, and Nitya, eternal. Nyayaratna, I see that there are 2 types of Vaishnava Dharma. One maintains that the Paratattva, known as Brahma, is formless and devoid of qualities.
Brahma
is formless and devoid of qualities. However, since there is no question of worshipping a formless object, sadhakas first imagine Brahma to have some form, and then they worship that. This worship is only needed to purify the heart, and when the heart is purified, knowledge of the formless Brahma arises. At that point, there is no longer any need to continue the worship of forms. The forms of Radha Krishna, Ram, and Nrsimha are all imaginary and are byproducts of Maya. When one worships these imaginary forms, knowledge of Brahma gradually awakens. Among worshippers of the 5 deities, Panchopashaks, those who worship the deity of Vishnu and recite Vishnu mantras with this attitude consider themselves Vaishnavas. In the second type of Vaishnava Dharma, Bhagavan Vishnu, Rama, or Krishna are accepted as Parabrahma, possessing eternal forms. When the sadhaka worships one of these particular forms with the corresponding mantras, he obtains eternal knowledge of that specific deity whom he worships and receives the mercy of that deity. According to this view, the doctrine of impersonalism is Mayavad, which is a misconception that Sankara has propagated. Now tell us, which of these 2 types of Vaishnavism is everlasting and eternal?
Okay, now stop it. So, we must discuss, Maharaj, what is impersonalism and what is personalism. Like in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 4, text 10, in the middle of the purport, Prabhupada says, everybody is born with these 3 attachments. And those are, Damodar Prabhu, loudly.
Negligence of spiritual life, fear of a personal identity after spiritual perfection,
okay.
and vitaraga, bhaya, krodha, and frustration with different religious philosophies.
Frustration arising, concluding with voidism.
Yeah.
So Buddhism and Mayavadi, everybody is born with. So after serving under our spiritual master and Prabhupada, if we don't have a meditation on the lotus feet of divine couple or Mahaprabhu is not arising in the heart, impersonalism, contamination is still there. It should be very important because everybody is born with it. One time Mahatma Prabhu tells us the story of Keshav Bharati Maharaj. So Prabhupada finished the lecture and he was very heavy in the lecture against this impersonalism. He was blasting in this. They are offender, they literally blaspheme the Lord. They do not know, they are polluting themselves, they are polluting others. So he went on and on and on and on. After the lecture is over, Keshav Bharati Prabhu, or Maharaj, sorry, at that time, he asked Prabhupada, that, who are they? You are so angry. After the class is over. Then Prabhupada turned towards him, he said, I'm talking about you. The Mayavadism is you. You all are here. You have to get out of it. So Keshav Bharati was like shocked. He thought there was a group called Mayavadis in India, and Prabhupada is angry against them. So he was thinking, why in England he is giving lecture and against some Indian group in India. So that was his conception. Because the whole thing he did not see himself as anything to do with it. So Prabhupada turned back and he was like very heavy with him. It was you I was talking against. So this is very true. This is not just literary we should take why Maharaj emphasized. This personalism, we have eternal relationship, that's true. But if somebody under guidance of pure Guru do not literally chant the Gayatri Mantra and Harinam, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, does not revive, that means something heavy contamination is there. This Pratibimba Abhas, semblance, reflection coming from this Mayavad conception, Voidism, very dangerous. That curtain has to be removed, otherwise not possible. This is the biggest obstacle. Guru can help so long I want to surrender, but Guru cannot help if I don't want to surrender to him. I don't want to follow him. So this is very important. Maharaj, please give us some.
Now, when Prabhupada said you, it also meant me. Because when I came...
You are not there.
No, but I'm saying, when I came to the movements, my Bible was a book called God Speaks by Meher Baba. So he described how, by eliminating the false ego and getting to a higher state of consciousness, one becomes God. And I thought that's a great idea. Just get out the false ego, will be perfect. And then I would always debate the devotees, when it was first coming. I said, no, you have false ego, can't you see? That's what's blocking your realization of God. And we go on and on. And finally I was wearing down, and I was going on Sankirtan with them too, and chanting. But eventually I said, I've got to make a choice. It's either Prabhupada or Meher Baba. And the devotees said, get rid of those books, get rid of those books. I said, I can't, I'm attached to them. They're helping me, And finally, one day I said, I've got to part with these books. So I was in Sydney, Australia. So I took the books, and I went down to the train station, and I said, maybe this will help some other soul. I put them on the train station, and I went back to the ashram. I said, all right, I'm done with the Mayavad.
Jai! Very good. Now we're going to bestow blessing. Very good.
Because Prabhupada's Gita was so powerful. Still is so powerful. He hammers Mayavad in almost every purport.
Yes.
It is so contaminating. And the Western world is so full of it. Full of so much, but especially Mayavad, impersonalism. So, Prabhupada's mantra, his pranam mantra, is he is so dear to Krishna on this earth, and he specifically come to remove this impersonalism, which is so deeply entrenched in the consciousness of the Western world. Impersonalism. And even the religious people, even Christianity, also full of Mayavad philosophy.
Mm-hmm.
Srila Maharaj says in Christianity, the Supreme is considered the Holy Spirit. Personal. Of course, they have some personal idea of a father, but what kind of a form? And
No form.
Other religions, Islam, Judaism, So, if you go to some churches, they take out all forms. Only they put a cross. No pictures. Even that, the Christianity is advancing towards Mayavad. Because before they used to have, at least in Catholic Church, they had forms everywhere. Jesus, Mary, Joseph. But now, the cultured Christianities, they have no forms in their church, only a cross. So it's deeply entrenched, and by the grace of Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita, that is dealt with very fashionably and very perfectly by Prabhupada. That Krishna is the form of the absolute truth. Now that he acquired a form, that form is eternal. Ishwar Parama Krishna, Satchit Ananda Vigraha, Nadir Adir Govinda, Sarva Karana Karma. And the best of the Upanishads is the Gopal Tapani Upanishad. All the Upanishads. And it declares specifically that this form of Krishna is absolute, eternal. No beginning, no end. And it is the source of all other forms of the absolute. Rama, Krishna, Braha, Kurma, and so on. So therefore the devotees want to see Krishna always and everywhere. The form of the absolute, because it is also unlimitedly beautiful. The other day somebody were talking about how to perfect the japa, and one person was telling me, it was one devotee in India. I asked him, he goes, he was associating with one very advanced devotee. I said, well, how does he say to chant japa? Because you can chant japa out loud, or you can chant japa very silently. So this devotee said, his first 4 rounds he chants loudly. Because why? Because the mind is very, chanchal, going here and there. So the loud chanting helps very much to control the flickering, wavering mind. So he chants his 4 rounds loudly, and then he chants japa, like japik, just whispering Hare Krishna. And then the next 4 rounds he chants silent, in manasik japa. And then again it goes back to loud chanting. And then I was talking to another devotee, and he was saying that Gurudev, or maybe it was something on a forum. She said Gurudev, it was might have been Krishna Balaba. She said Gurudev said, "You chant just like I am with you." And she chants. She says, "I chant 4 rounds. I picture my Guru immediately right in front of me, as if he's right there watching me." So, of course, I think we should chant with the concept that our Guru is always there watching us. So we're focusing, we're attentive, because we know it's an offense to be inattentive while chanting. And I'm the first offender in that regard. But we have to focus, and if we focus, like anything, you focus on something, you get greater benefit. And I've always noticed, there may be different grades, but for me, there's 2 types of chanting I do, unfocused and focused. And I tend to, default to the unfocused. And I have to kick myself to continue to focus on the sound and the relationship of Krishna's form and pastimes. So, with that type of chanting, then this impersonal absolute philosophy will completely be uprooted from the heart, and you can call yourself a Vaishnava. Jai.
More? Gopi. What's the page number?
223 or 222.
Neha Ratna.
Vaishnav Das. The second of these is the real Vaishnav Dharma, and it is eternal.
Wait, one second, I'm sorry to interrupt. Can somebody from the back can explain the 2 types of Vaishnav Dharma we just read? Because we will face in our life, everybody is worshipping maybe some form of Vishnu. They are Vaishnava. But as soon as you ask their goal of life, then you will find out they will fall into this category. One is pseudo. What is pseudo? Pseudo Vaishnava means they appear like Vaishnava, they are worshipping Radha Krishna, but they have one concept of goal, that God actually, like that hotel owner from Jacksonville, he worshipped Radha Krishna. We talked other day very nicely. Then he says, but God is only like nirvishesh, no form. When he wants to come, he takes the form here. What form is that, Mother Gandharvika? What idea is this? Huh? What?
She's saying impersonal.
Impersonal. Good. Mayavadi.
Yeah.
You can directly say it. That's what Mayavadi say. When God comes, he takes a sattva of, doesn't say rajo or tamo. That's the good part, at least something respected. Something was like horrible. He said the jiva takes raja and tamo and sattva, but God takes the sattva gun form. That is so offensive. Denying the eternal form of the Lord. Good. So when they worship a deity form, that worshipping is like a boat. It becomes like a boat, because you cannot conceive a impersonal form. In order to worship, how are you going to worship? Oh, he's everywhere, okay? Which way you want to show incense?
Everywhere.
You want to bathe him, you want to put on a little dress, you have to be bigger than the entire, what do you call, infinite, all-pervasive. In order to dress somebody, the cloth has to be bigger than the person, no? I mean, if you want to wrap, see, Brahman is all-pervasive, how are you going to wrap him up?
Just keep it open.
Keep it up.
We have to call
It's
the-
impossible.
We have to call the Soda Mata.
It is impossible. Thank you. It is impossible. That's why they take the form of God just for worshipping, not for developing love or believing it. They think just to cross the material ocean that Nirgun Brahman has come, Sagun Brahman. Then they think that after they worship, like after you cross the river, do you need the boat anymore? No. So they give up deity worship. But we don't give up. Whatever we are doing now, we'll do the same thing. The difference is conditional and liberated, or eternal Sevananda. So that's the only difference. We don't give up the deity worship. But in Golok Vrindavan, we don't worship deity like this. Vrindavane aprakrita novina madan kamagayatri kamarupe jara upasan. In Chaitanya Charitamrita it says, just like you are worshipping Bal Gopal, but in Vrindavan, who worship Bal Gopal? Nobody. And if you worship Bal Gopal, you have to be outside Vrindavan. But they do worship, Mother Yashoda worship, but that worship, this worshipping here, Bal Gopal, for an example, you develop by the mercy of Guru, you develop that Vatsulya Ras under guidance of Gurudev, who will be representative of either Mother Yashoda or Mother Yashoda herself. You never know, or some Gopi mother. Then when that bhav arises, that bhav becomes the bridge, bridge to cross the river. That bridge from the Archan Marg to Bhava Marg. From deity worship to become a personal relationship with that Lord becomes like this. Deity worship is not gone, but deity worship transform our bhav when it comes from Archan Marg to Bhava Marg. Then end of life, we serve him in a Bhava Marg. Bhava Marg means with feeling, like the Gopi mothers. But deity worship has to be there, and it is eternal. But over there in Vrindavan, they don't do worship deity worship, but originally whoever went from Alachua, they must have done. We never give up. But we worship Krishna there too, but in a form of bhav, love, loving, same thing. Okay, now you can read.
Vaishnav Das. The second of these is the real Vaishnav Dharma, and it is eternal. The other is Vaishnav Dharma in name only. In reality, this pseudo Vaishnav Dharma is opposed to real Vaishnav Dharma. It is temporary and has originated from Mayavad doctrine.
Okay, so what is the first Vaishnav Dharma? Somebody, please. Otherwise only Maharaj is speaking, but are we getting benefit from him? If we can repeat, then we'll be benefiting. What is the real Vaishnav Dharma? What is the basic, fundamental? Yes.
The first one or the second one?
The Vaishnav Dharma. I don't know first one or second one. The real, pure Vaishnav Dharma is, what is the fundamental base?
It said that Krishna or Rama is Parabrahma, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and the jivas are his parts and parcels who are meant to serve him, and that exchange of love is the Vaishnava Dharma.
And all three are eternal.
Yeah, all three are eternal.
In their form of, Mayavadi also accept this is Param Brahma. They also accept Krishna's form, but they don't say it's eternal. So eternal existence has to be literally maintain that belief. Good. Okay. More?
Nayaratna, I understand that in your opinion, the only true Vaishnav Dharma is the doctrine that you have received from Chaitanya Dev. You do not accept that the worship of Radha Krishna, Ram, and Nrsimha constitutes Vaishnav Dharma in and of itself. You only accept the worship of Radha Krishna or other deities as Vaishnav Dharma, if it is conducted in accordance with the ideology of Chaitanya.
Wait. Did you see how he twisted it? So, we are not... This is very interesting. If you really think, this contemplation is good. We are not just taking Radha Krishna as a worshipable object. We are taking Radha Krishna as an eternal relationship worshipable object. They say, that is Chaitanya, Lord Chaitanya's idea. Anybody can worship Radha Krishna and that is fine. They are Vaishnava. Yes? No. They have to maintain that belief that their form is eternal. You will say, well, Lalitas Didi, what's his name, Prabhuji's? I can't. Loka Guru Prabhu. I'm sorry, you have to forgive me, I forgot. He just bought those deity from the market of Jaipur. How can you say it is eternal? Somebody explain. Maharaj knows, I know.
He developed the relationship with the deity.
Something more, how this gradually take place. He knows he bought this from Jaipur. And now you are saying this is the eternal form of God?
It's above.
One say, is it eternal or no?
If he have the faith.
No, explain how it works, how it develops. Who can? Somebody?
You develop it.
We read this few times before. When you yes, chapter 6, chapter 4. You want to explain? Go, raise your hand.
About the Murti, the Vigra?
Yeah.
How is this the deity from Jaipur or this is eternal form? There was a marble slab. Somebody took a chisel, hammer.
I'm not going to answer because I know you're trying to trick me. But I'll say that the pure devotee, he's always seeing the Archa Vigraha. He's always seeing the Vigraha.
How?
How?
Yes.
Well, I suppose he's done lots of bhajan, and then, the Lord is manifested in his heart.
Good.
So now he's always having darshan of Sri Vigraha, of Sri Murti. And then because of this darshan, he can glance at any object. It could be, and since that is made from marble, from Jaipur, but that Vigraha, that Murti inside his heart will then reflect into that deity for the others to also worship like this. Because I don't see the Murti form. So I need some kind of visual aid, but I still believe that there is a Murti, that there is Sri Vigraha, that the Lord does have form. So I have such strong faith in that this is there, that so maybe if it has not been installed yet, I still, due to my faith, that there is a Sri Vigraha and there is a deity form. I worship the deity. So why not the deity manifest according to Radha and Krishna form? But usually it's the pure devotee manifesting it from his heart into there to accept service from all of us. Something like that.
That's good. That's good. That's very good. Thank you. There's another thing to consider also. In our Diksha process, when we take this second type of Diksha category that we follow mostly, all our ISKCON Gauriya, we follow this Pancharatrik Vidhi. In the Pancharatrik Vidhi, it's also explained that when Guru, who has the Ishtadev all the time, he is serving in Manasa Seva, but in a sadhak form, he is engaging or collecting the soul and engaging in that. Sri Vigrahara Dhananitanana Shringaratan Mandiramajanado Juktasya Bhaktam Shani Junjatohopi Bande Guru Sri Charanarvindam. We worship that Gurudev who engaged the disciple in that deity worship. What deity? The deity of his mandir, his heart, his mind has the deity. He is engaging so that the disciple will have a eligibility. And in spiritual world also we should know. In Brahma Samhita explains, Alo lachandaka lasadava namalla bamsi ratnang badang pranaya keli kalabilasam Shemang tribhanga lalitam niyato prakasam Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. In that verse it says, Shemam tribhangam lalitam, that most attractive form of the Shyam Sundar, niyato prakasam. Niyato means eternally he is standing form. It is not a boring or punishment, because our mind will say, oh, I don't like it. How can I stand for 2 hours? I'll be bored. Lord is standing eternally. This is his ecstasy form. Stamba, so many things that he literally surrounded by his Antaraj, Parshad, Brajavashi, and he stands there. So there is a two prakosta. One is Mantra Upasana Mayi and then Sarasiki. Mantra Upasana Mayi is that Guru transfer from his heart to the disciple's heart. And when disciple engage, comes in contact with Shuddha Satta, pure goodness, then this transmission will take place from heart to heart. At that time, through the Jnana Vairagya Juktena, by the mercy that Tam Padartha Gyan, Tat Padartha Gyan, Jiva Brahma Sajujya Gyan, all understanding will be realized by the mercy of Guru. That time, this heart will be saturated with Shuddha Sattva. As the heart saturated and the disciple is Seva Unmukhi, he is very inclined to serve. Krishna Seva Vasana Bij is fructifying, sprouting. That time, by the mercy of Guru, the Sibigra established in the heart of the disciple. Then disciple, when he is serving the deity under the guidance of his Guru, then his deity in the heart will unite with the marble form that Jaipur, some marble wala carved with a chisel and hammer. It transforms into Vishuddha Sattva. Every material elements has a 3-layer of covering called Sattik, Rajasic and Tamasic. As soon this 3-layer covering is removed, it is pure Brahman. That's why Srila Prabhupada in chapter 4, 24 verse, in the purport he says, when a part of absolute is covered with the material illusion, it's called matter or marble. I'm saying marble because matter means that. When by the grace this covering is removed, that time the conscious reality manifests in the matter called Brahman. That time he is Supreme Brahman. From Golok Vrindavan he expands through heart. Because the heart, Guru's heart and Golok Vrindavan is same deity. But it expands to this form so that I am engaged under his guidance. That's how it manifests. It is no more from Jaipur anymore. That Jaipur idea is dissolved. Is that okay?
Gita also says, Paramarpanam Brahmahavir Brahma Brahmanahutam. Brahma Karma Samamajam. So anything that actually is connected to the Supreme through devotion, it also takes on the quality of Brahman.
So how can we say these deities are eternal? Eventually they'll deteriorate and turn into
No,
nothing.
they don't deteriorate.
Well, I mean, I can go over
To the material eye, to the demonic nature, Maya will create. This is the absolute truth, very unique function. That you don't believe, Krishna will show through the Maya that your conception of atheistic. And you want to believe, Yogamaya also will reveal. It says in America, the beauty is in the eye of who?
Beholder.
So, it is you whose mental attitude, the deity will correspondence.
So it's not the actual deity that's becoming spiritual, it's your perception of
Correct.
it.
Correct.
So then that means
Krishna is always Krishna.
But that means that the deity is still material.
No.
No.
So then how is it not? Because if I have an atheistic perception,
Yes.
and I go and smash the deity and break it to pieces, then how can...
To you that was marble.
So then that means the
But if
deity
the
is
believer,
material.
is there, for an example, can I tell a story, Maharaj? Yeah. There is a great devotee of Jagannath. So he is worshipping every day. And he is worshipping. The rules is when the king comes, you take the garland from the deity and you offer him. So there was no occasion for king to come that day. So when there is nobody respectable, the pujari sometimes he takes on him, the remnants. It's nothing wrong. We're supposed to accept the remnants of the deity. This is service also, seva. He took the remnants and smelling, and the pujari has a big ponytail, sikha, but a long sikha. And all of a sudden they said the king just arrived. And then he's running. Oh no, there is no garland, what to do? So the curtain, he closed it and put the garland from his neck to there. back to the deity. It was a spontaneous, don't see anything wrong, Maharaj. It was just a spontaneous his reaction. So it was a very... And then the king came, he opened the curtain, and the king is very happy. So first thing you do, king representative of Jagannath, so you're supposed to receive him on behalf of, and he accepted him. And then first thing they do, give little chandan, and then give the mercy of the Lord. So he gives him the garland. So then he got some prasadam, that's all. And then he left. While he is going in the chariot, he is smelling. He is talking to the minister next to him sitting. He said, today garland is very special. I like it. I never smell like this. It has a hair. This is very strange. Jagannath never has a hair. But why the garland has a hair? Then he started doubting. What do you think? The minister said, Your Honor, I don't know, Your Lord. I think something strange. Is the pujari has a long hair? He said, yes. This is not his. Then he's smelling, it's like some oil smell coming. So oil smell coming, very fragrant oil. So then he sent the minister back, he left. Tomorrow morning I want him to come and answer my questions. Otherwise, what they call? Severed. Thank you. Chop off. No, that's not correct English, right?
Chop off the head.
Remove.
So night time comes, the minister comes back, said, hey, because they're minister. What you did? You're not doing puja nicely. Where is this hair coming? The king said, hair coming? He's now getting panic. Then he realized he never did that to the deity. Put back to his garland, putting on and then giving back is like a kind of illegal. No scripture says that. So seva aparads. Anyway, all these things coming, and then the minister said, tomorrow morning you come to the court and prove it that Jagannath has a hair and the garland has Jagannath hair, otherwise your head will be off. So the pujari, he knows. The king is not like you don't get a lawyer or anything. It doesn't work. He is all in all and he is going to kill. So he is so panicked, he really started crying. Everybody laughed. He started crying and crying and crying and crying, and it's becoming like an hour and becoming midnight. He didn't eat, he didn't do anything. He just put the Lord to sleep, and then he went and just crying in the room. In that intense suffering feeling, his submission to the Lord and his Guru really revived. He was so much repenting, my Lord, I don't know any rules, regulation. I don't know why I did. Please forgive me. I should have never done it. My Guru never told me to do like this. I was so oblivious, and he started crying and said, Prabhu, I don't know, I'm sorry, I could not serve you properly. But I wish you would kill me. You have a Sudarshan Chakra. Why I want to be killed by the king? He's not a devotee. He's a devotee, but I don't see. I want to be killed. So he was like a very... And then he apologized and he repents and cry and cry and cry. And it's like almost like a midnight passed. Then he's like could not go on more crying. He just fell a little asleep. All of a sudden somebody knocked the door. He was so scared. Maybe it's a morning time. The king, the soldier coming to take him. So then they opened the door. He opened the door out of fear. He saw Jagannath. My Lord. I said, yes, can I come in? So, of course, he's like so beautiful. My Lord, you walking. I said, Are, you walking? You come from me and I cannot walk? Oh, of course you can walk. He said, so you did not eat, you left the plate. And I was watching, I look in the kitchen and the other place. You left your plate, and if you don't eat, who is going to serve me tomorrow? Who is going to cook? And he was like, you're overwhelmed. It's like, I'm sorry, my Lord. Yes, what is your problem? Oh, problem is just that there was a hair. I know you don't have a hair. Wait. You have a hair and I don't have a hair? What is this logic? My Lord, yes, you have a wooden form. Am I speaking wooden form? No, he's completely collapsed. He fell and he started crying, "My Lord, I always serving, but I know you are real, but I just didn't know how to express this. I had a doubt because I never saw you had hair. And I took the garland from you, and then when king came and he started talking and crying, Jagannath said, that's all right. I have a most beautiful hair. You just did not see yet. What logic is this? You are my servant. You never asked me, my Lord, can you show your hair? I would show, but you never asked. So you never asked, but you want to see the hair? And I have also fragrance. I know king smelled. I have also oil. Come tomorrow and see me. But now you eat and take rest and come and serve me in the morning. He goes there, Mangalarti. He opened the deity and he was like shocked. Really, Jagannath has a beautiful curly hair all the way down. And he comes, it's a fragrance going on. He started crying, my Lord, how did it this? And Jagannath is not talking anymore. He's just a deity. He said, my Lord, this is unbelievable. Wow, he was like so happy. He started crying and worshipping. He's crying and crying. Now he got bhav. So then in the morning, he's not coming to the court. So then the minister comes, hey, you're supposed to be in the court. He said, I have a service to the king of your king. You talking like this? You never talk to me like this. I'm the minister. He's a minister of a king, but I'm serving his king. So who is more important? Hey, you giving me philosophy? You're supposed to be now severe, your head. So he said, you please tell the king, I'm serving the Lord. I cannot stop serving. My guru never told me I have to serve. So the news comes, the king comes. He was very angry. So the king comes. He said, show me where Jagannath has a hair. If you want to see, you can come and see. So the king, some or other did Achman, and he went in the altar. He said, he got so angry. You are such a buster. In British English they use. That's how I translated it. He didn't speak in English, he spoke in Uriya. You're such a buster. You found a wigs. Not only that, you put it a sugandha oil. I mean, what do you call scented oil, perfumed oil. How dare you did this? This is a hair. He pulled like this. Blood started coming out. When the blood came, the king just fainted. Because he was a devotee, but he didn't have a strong faith either. So then in the trance, he is having dialogue with the Lord. My Lord, I never knew you had hair. He said, you have a hair, you come every day, you decorate yourself, you come from me and you have a logic that I don't exist. I don't have a hair, I have a wooden form. What this? If I really need every day, everything I want, you will go crazy and the pujari will go crazy. So I remain a deity. Okay, just worship me. If I tell you, okay, read whole day, after a while you'll feel tired. I wish I could go to sleep. So I become deity, okay, just do your puja, go back to your place. I remain deity because of this. Otherwise, if I really act, in Vrindavan, Krishna is like this. 24 hours he is busy with the gopis. 24 hours they are serving. But we are, in a sense, it's good that deity, Krishna is a deity, because otherwise if you say, all right, let's Harikatha go on for 3 days, some of you will fall asleep. It's true, I will fall asleep too. So then we will be committing offense. He wants to hear, but we are falling asleep. So it's better he is deity, then we pay obeisance, we go, we sleep and come back tomorrow and do. So Krishna revealed that. Now it makes sense? He will reciprocate with whoever has faith that much. Otherwise, atheist, yes. When Kalapahar came, he conquered. He went and did this, all this Panda, what they did, 2200. Sridhar Maharaj talks about it. The 2200 Pandas, one place. And Kalapahar, he was a Hindu, Brahman. He went against it, became Muslim, and became so, he started attacking all this Hindu temple. He's one of the big figure that destroyed a lot of Hindu temples. Kalapahar. When he went there, all these 2200 Pandas, instead of, he came with 7. They all started praying to God. What kind of servant is this? They cannot protect the Lord? We should be ready to give up our life to protect. Now if you say, well, God does not need protection, He protects everybody else, then it's difference. That's also true, there's nothing wrong, but that's a very low class level. Not low class, how would you say, Maharaj? Lower stage of devotee. Like Gorura had problem with Hanumanji when Ram and Lakshmana were tied up with the snake. Gorura could not comprehend. How can he needs my help? He is helping everybody else. Hanumanji say, your argument doesn't work, he fly away. But he knew that Hanumanji is more advanced than him. He knew that. That was a good part. Saying there must be some truth about it. So he went there and discovered it. But when he went there, just by seeing this face of Gorura, all the snake ran away. And Ram Lakshman did a even worse thing, apparently. Not a worse thing, best thing they did. But worst thing apparently, he said, thank you for serving us. I didn't do anything. I just, Gorura, the face of an eagle bird. Is that eagle bird?
Yeah.
Eagle bird. When the snake sees the eagle bird, what happened? They all run away. Actually, Gorura did not do anything. He just went there. That's all. And all the snake ran away. But this is a loving exchange. Not everybody will understand Brajabashi's mood. Dancers? We need more discussion. Okay. More discussion or chanting?
Yeah, nice Mahamantra would be good, I think. Someone can chant.
You're leaving tomorrow what time?
After lunch, so 1.
So you're going to spend a little time. We need to talk about if you have a doubt. We need, before you leave. Okay. You want me to sing, Maharaj? You want to sing?
You're going? You can chant Krishna Das.
I'm not a singer.
Who's the big one?
Hey, he's the Kirtaniya, right?
No, Bhadra Prabhu is a big Kirtaniya.
Oh yeah, Bhadra.
Bhadra Prabhu. Please sing, give it. He's a beautiful singer.
Hare Krishna, Hare